Hey guys, this is a week 17 recap. So, week 17 kicked off as usual with Sunday speaking clubs. So, this week I was at our most popular and busiest speaking club. And this group's been growing on me because I've been going there more often recently. So, when I started one of the speaking clubs, I asked all the kids to, run up to me. Well, not to run up to me, but to come to me. But one girl did run up to me, and she ran up to me and stood right under me and then looked up into my face, and I literally almost stopped and hugged her, but I was just like, oh wait, you can't do that. But these kids are adorable, honestly. They have so much energy, and I taught them this one game I learned at summer camp, Tarzan the Monkey Man. And they are obsessed with this game. They want to play over and over for an hour, but it's guys, we have other things to do. But yeah, that's how Sunday started. I got to debut my new football this week. I got to carry it around a bit, which for those of you that know me, it's a pretty regular part of what I do. But anyway, I got to carry my football around. The first day I brought it out, actually, a guy that was walking across the street asked me to throw him a pass, so got right back into the swing of things, I guess. But yeah, everyone looks, because they're just is that what? Well, some people are like, is that American football? Other people are just like, I don't know what that is. But yeah, I have my football back, which is nice. I also had to teach 2 days this week, so one of the teachers got sick and had to fill in for her. So I became an actual teacher this week, leading full lessons and stuff. But it felt pretty easy, honestly, partially because it's English, but also just because I love the students that I work with, and it's a fun job to do. And yeah, I just really enjoy being part of this experience. So while I was teaching on those 2 days, on the first day, we were watching a video, and I was testing their understanding and memory of the video. So I said, okay, so where's this first city that they showed us? It's a city in Japan. This girl said Las Vegas.
Myth. What?
And we took a few seconds to recover ourselves, and then we got to the correct answer, which was Tokyo. But yeah, that happened. And then later on in another class, we were talking about, how we feel about Christmas and our different ideas about what we do and stuff. And then we got into a whole discussion about Santa Claus and presents and stuff, because we were saying, how does Santa get our gifts, and then one girl said he buys them, and I was like, I thought the elves made them. And then she was saying, no, we buy them. And then I was like, well, how do you pay Santa? And one kid said the universe.
Ah, that's pretty interesting.
The universe writes a paycheck to Santa. And I was like, well, what's his salary then? And then we got into that whole discussion. So that was pretty funny. I also learned during these 2 days of teaching that kids here are actually addicted to TikTok. So people here love Instagram, and they may be addicted to that too, but kids can second nature do TikTok dances while they are doing these activities. One girl was doing a pair activity, and she's doing TikTok dances while she's reading these questions to her partner and answering them, which is it's kind of scary, honestly, that you can learn these routines so well that you can actually do them second nature, and doing different ones while you're doing other activities. But I mean, that's just how it is here, I guess. So later, after those 2 days of teaching, we had the Christmas tree lighting that we visited as native speakers and some of the students. It's downtown, and we went there after classes on Thursday. It was pretty interesting. Also almost got my football stolen by some gypsies who I didn't know the word gypsies. They were they asked me to I tossed it to them, so I did, and then they like kept walking, and it was like, oh, okay, there's a problem here. First time that's ever happened, but I guess first time for everything. But yeah, the Christmas tree line was nice. I got to use my football later for good purposes, I guess. Turns out that Catherine is pretty good at football, so at some point after we were like eating or something, like we started tossing the football around. I don't know if people were more shocked at me, her, or the football itself. We were just walking by looking like, what is happening here? But yeah, so that happened. That was pretty interesting. Got some video for that, which I probably will compile and post later this week or something. So yeah, that was a fun night. Lots of laughing. So after Christmas tree lighting, we were actually on our way back to the ELC, and on the train, we were just having a good time. It was me, Gabriel, Dima, and Catherine, and we were just laughing and stuff. At one point, I don't even know what happened, but Gabriel was dying laughing. I asked what happened, and he said, oh no, I was just asking if I could have the subtitles to someone's English. And we all died laughing. Partially because that's pretty disrespectful, but I don't even know who. I think it was someone else on the train that was talking or something, but it was a random but hilarious moment. We were talking about different languages, and Dima was like, oh yeah, French, like, you know, French is nasty. It's like bonjour, and then like he did a thing where like he like cleared his throat and then like spat, like he faked doing it. But it was hilarious to me because like that's, I don't know, I just don't like the French R. Those of you that I've talked to about it, you know, I don't like the French R. I would prefer the Spanish R, which I can't do, and the French R I know because I took 11 years of it. But yeah, not a fan of the French R. So that was that. Speaking of languages, in my class on Wednesday, I believe, I actually spoke in 3 different languages in class, to the shock of everyone, because, well, I'm the English teacher, of course, but then one girl said that she studied French, so then I guess I kind of tested her a bit. And then another guy was like, oh, do you speak Spanish? And then I answered him in Spanish. And like one girl in the class was like mind blown. She was like, what is he doing? How is he doing this? But yeah, a little known fact that I can legitimately converse in 3 different languages. It's not smooth for me because I'm not like a natural polyglot. All my extra languages are from school or now living here in Ukraine. So it's rough on the edges, but it is something I can do when necessary. And it actually came up later this week on Sabbath because, well, at church, we have a Spanish Sabbath school lesson, but we were part of a Russian class, but a guy here, Mario, who's from Panama, knows Russian, and Spanish, obviously. So he was translating from Russian into Spanish. And then, you know, we have conversations in the Spanish. And then a girl visited this week that spoke almost exclusively French. So, like, after church, people were asking for me. And they're like, oh, where's Raymond? And I'm like, okay, I'm here. And they're like, oh, there's a girl that speaks French. And I was like, okay, I see where this is going. So I met her, sat down and talked. Her name's Esther. She's from Togo. She's also studying medicine and stuff. So yeah, that was the first full French conversation I had actually had since, well, 2 hours before actually, because another guy at church this week also spoke French. But those 2 conversations were the first full French conversations I had had in, I mean, years, honestly. I had a French exchange earlier here, but it wasn't really the same as this, where it's like legitimately one-on-one in French. But I held in there, pulled it off. Only had to look up like Siamese twins because I was talking about Ben Carson. But yeah, it was a pretty crazy experience this week. And of course, there's still Russian and Ukrainian on the side, so my brain actually made it through this week pretty good compared to the first time. I had all of these languages coming together in a week. But yeah, so that was that. And then on Friday, I had a pretty good bass playing session to end off the week, so that was nice. And then also on Saturday night, I went to a Christmas program that the Russian church was having, and I know some of the people in it because like Vladim and his little sister who I teach sometimes, and other people that I've become familiar with were in the show, so it was cool to go out and support them. And yeah, I mean, this week was a pretty crazy week, but it was fun. This week is going to be my last week in Ukraine for 2 weeks because I'll be traveling back to US for interviews. I don't know if I'll be doing week recaps while I'm back in the US also because I'm usually really busy. I'll probably just end up doing one video at the end of all of that. But that may be pretty long, so I might do recaps. Who knows? Anyway, appreciate you guys that have been watching and supporting, and I will see you guys soon.